This is Christine Brown, and while I have to listen to this podcast as my motherly duty, you have the choice not to. My sons sometimes say some naughty things when they're trying to be funny, but really, they're just being stupid. If you still want to listen, go right ahead. I am not your mother.
Welcome back to the Patriots Dynasty podcast. We're here 2003 week 14, closing on the end of the regular season. And we haven't seen a loss in a long time, boys.
That's right.
It's been kind of nice.
How many in a row is this?
This is... They
8.
come into this game with 8 consecutive wins. Last time we saw a loss was week 4 in Washington.
We're one third of the way through, right? Is 23?
I believe it's 21 or 23. I can't remember. So
We'll call it a third, roughly a third.
We're cruising through, yeah. But this is yet another game that our listeners will remember at least one play from. Maybe only one play. I only remembered the one play, but we'll get to that.
I agree.
But we have the Miami Dolphins visiting Gillette Stadium, and also Mother Nature visiting Gillette Stadium, because the commentators in this game could not get over the fact that New England had received 28 inches of snow.
It was a fair
Pretty
bit of
good
snow.
dump.
Yeah.
That's a good dump. But this, I think, is an all-time crowd shot game.
Oh, yeah. That's why it's
The people literally just dug themselves in. Like, you couldn't see the seat, so they just like dug a seat in the 2 feet of snow and just sat on that. And it was fucking amazing. Just like watching the people try to get to their seats and just like sliding down all the snowbanks and stuff, just trying to like find somewhere to plop themselves.
I've always wondered that about big snowstorms.
Yeah.
How do you... It's got to be a logistical nightmare to shovel those with the seats and everything.
Well, I think what happened is it dumped the snow right before during the day.
Right.
Because they were saying like we didn't even get that much in Boston. We got like a foot, and then we get there and it's 2 feet. So it's snowed a shitload more south.
Yeah.
Imagine Route 1 during all that shit too. Oh.
I feel like I've heard stories of people who went to this game and they said, normally getting home takes 2 hours. This one, it took like 4.5. Just because of how much
parking lot. It didn't snow during the game as much though.
No, there wasn't a lot of snow happening during. Like it was happening at the beginning of the game, but it tapered off pretty quick.
Which honestly, like right after the storm, can actually be kind of nice.
Oh yeah, it's always so quiet.
Yeah,
I love the way that the snow just like muffles all the sounds. It's beautiful. But let's see, what was the weather? They showed the weather at the beginning. It was 28 degrees. Wind chill was 17. Winds of 15 to 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, End's game was long as shit. It was 2 hours on that YouTube.
Yeah.
Let's give it a Lombardi watchability score.
Ooh, all right. Well, first of all, I want to know, Greg, did you watch the entire game or did you do highlights?
Highlights.
All right. Yeah, I don't blame you.
I mean, it's final score is 12-0.
Yeah.
I'll watch the few plays that probably are good to watch, but I don't need to see the rest.
I like a defensive battle. Even having said this, I think you could skip
first 3 quarters.
First half.
You know what I wish I could do? Just skip all the offensive plays and just watch the defense snap to snap to snap. Because like when the Pats was on, it was pretty impressive.
Yes. Yeah, this was, I actually wrote down that this was I've never seen a Patriots defense as amped up as in this game.
Like it's sort of
every tackle was like an absolute monster hit. And then as soon as the tackler got up, he like everybody was jumping on him, like slapping his helmet, and just like everybody was just amped to the nines. It was ridiculous.
It seemed like
they're coming off the Colts game there.
That's true. And also this, if they win this game, they clinch the AFC East as well. So it's a hat and t-shirt game.
But the defense is so like dominant too, though. Like this game, the Dallas game, the even like the Indy game, they held Peyton Manning really good. It's like they're playing out of their minds. It looks similar to the Patriots defense last year, 19, at the first half of the season. They couldn't do shit against them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is their second shutout of the year. Is that right?
They had a stat in this game. They crossed 50 possessions with no TDs at home. 50 straight possessions without giving up a touchdown at home, which is sick.
Well, they
That's
showed
pretty good.
it was 48 when Miami lined up at their own 4-yard line right before the infamous play. But let's see. They've had 2 shutouts so far. This one and then the Cowboys. Both 12-0, strangely enough. I think there might be another one at the end of the season. They held the Giants. They held the Giants to 6 points, and they held the Browns to 3 points, which feels like ages ago. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, they've given up a total of 9 points. That's bananas. And these are all against like good teams too. They showed a stat about. Did I take a screenshot of that one? There's something about like the Patriots versus teams with. Oh yeah, Patriots versus teams with winning records this year. 6-0. They beat Philadelphia 31-10, beat Tennessee. That was a good game, the 38-31. Yeah. Beat Miami in overtime. So actually now they're 7-0 because they beat Miami again. Beat Denver, beat Dallas, beat Indy.
Well, the Denver game's the intentional safety game too.
Right. Yep.
The Indy game is the 4th down stop.
Yeah. Tennessee game, they won 38-30. That was with, wasn't that Ty Law at the end to seal it?
Yep.
Where he limped his way in the end zone after picking it off.
Was the Dolphins game the overtime bomb to Troy Brown?
Yep. So none of these are the only blowout really was Philadelphia 31-10 coming off of the 31-0 drubbing week 1.
Yes. Yeah.
But Brady's been playing his best against these winning teams as well. Versus those 6 teams, he's averaging 259 yards per game. He's thrown 11 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Which is pretty good because he's actually thrown a handful of interceptions this season, like double digits, but only 3 against the good teams. His passer rating is 95.5. So that's pretty good. Dolphins, on the other hand, not so good. At least not in the weather. There was a whole bunch of thing about Miami teams playing in the weather, and I think those are my favorite games when Miami comes to New England in December. Because they're always just woefully unprepared for some reason.
Yeah, everybody looked cold except for Junior Seau.
Yes.
He did not look cold at all, but
no, he was loving it.
The Dolphins look freezing.
But in the Globe, I think it was the day before the game, they had a little chart of all the games of the Dolphins having played in Foxborough 10 times after December 1st. And of those 10 games, they have won only 3 of them. So not great. And also Miami since 97 playing games under 50 degrees, which apparently is cold for a Miami team. They are 3-10. Lost 5 straight, and their turnover difference -21.
That's tough.
In 13
Got
games.
them Butterfingers in the cold.
That's a lot. Yeah, they're just.
Well, it's probably has something to do with the underinflated footballs in New England.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. They do save those for the cold games.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
You don't want that competitive edge until it really counts.
Right. Yep. Just like me saving my my underinflated tires this morning for the winter.
Yeah, this is appropriate for the current climate these days.
Yes,
huh?
It's very true.
Shout out Texas.
Yeah, Texas getting more snow than us up here in New England right now. Yeah, it feels very apropos, doesn't it?
There's a lot of internet chatter about people being better or worse than other people because of their tolerance for difficult weather,
Right.
which there's nothing better, you know?
Oh yeah. Wow, that's one of my favorite internet arguments.
I mean, that's probably just basic
arrogance over tolerance of weather is the best.
I mean, I do that with you guys now because you've both grown soft having moved to the South.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it's 30 degrees. Let's batten the hatches. Yeah,
it's all relative, Andy.
T-shirt weather, baby.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. It's all weather, but that's not going to stop me from giving you shit about it, right?
Yeah, but you know,
only fair.
It makes you a bitch.
Well, the warm weather's made you a bitch, I think is what you meant to say.
Dude. Cold rain, there's nothing worse.
No, cold rain is the worst.
Yeah.
But it's got to be like just above freezing, like 35.
I feel like the Dolphins think that snow is the worst, though, because they did not like this game.
They did not. Actually, I wanted to bring up the drive chart in this game. Oh, we didn't actually give it a Lombardi score, did we? Yeah.
You know, I'd probably give it higher than you would think. So you go first.
I would give it a 3.5. You could probably convince me to give it a 4 just because of the memorable play and the snow and the.
I was going 2.5, Greg. I was going 2 Super Bowls in Lombardi and a championship.
12-0 game. Jeez.
Yeah, it was not super.
I like defensive shutouts like this.
I know.
This is my jam.
So their offense looks so trash.
I love this.
It's so sad watching Antoine Smith just not.
That was the game plan, though. Run his ass up the middle until he fucking legs fall off.
In ugly games, but that doesn't mean it's not ugly, you know?
Yeah.
27 for 60 yards. He averaged 2.2 yards a carry.
And
but how did Ricky Williams do, though?
The key points, but yeah.
Ricky didn't do much better, but he did do better.
Miami had 134 total yards of offense in this game.
Yeah. Like I said, just give me the Patriots defensive plays. I love it because they were dominant.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So just fast forward through the page. As soon as the Patriots get the ball, just fast forward through that shit. And then wait till the defense comes on. Because here are, I'm going to just get a real quick, give you the drive chart of the Dolphins on the day. They give you the yards that they gained and then the end result. So 5 yards, punt, 5 yards, punt, 6 yards, punt, 30 yards, punt, -3 yards, punt, 2 yards, punt, 25 yards, punt, -1 yards, punt. And then we're in the third quarter, by the way. So this is one of their third drive of the third quarter. They actually got moving, 41 yards, and then they fumbled it. And then -1 yard punt, 7 yard punt, 0 yards, interception, return for a touchdown, 9 yards punt, 0 yards, interception, -1 yard safety to end it.
That's a good cherry on the on
that's
the
what it was. Like
shit
the Patriots
sandwich.
defense was getting closer and closer and closer and closer, and you just like
The
there's
entire
so
game,
many
you could
missed
feel it.
interceptions.
Oh, yeah. Like Ty Law himself had, I think, 3 dropped interceptions before he finally got one at the end.
Yeah, Andy, you should do a super cut of all of the missed interceptions leading up to that Teddy one because everyone remembers it for that one Teddy interception.
Yeah.
But this could have been an absolute blow.
Willie McGinnis almost had a diving interception on what I
Yes.
think was supposed to be a screenplay. Like there was
like a little out curl to the tight end, I think, kind of in the flat, and he's some play. And that was the 4th missed I put a note, 4th near INT by Willie.
Yep.
Fiedler 3 for 3, an INT on nearly every drive. So this is like the 4th Dolphins drive, and he almost throws a pick on all of them.
Yeah. And I think Asante Samuel took one between the, what number was he? I don't even remember.
2
The
and
twos?
2.
Yeah. He took a football between the twos that he couldn't catch.
There was one that hit a defender in the hands, bounced up in the air, and the Dolphins guy caught it for like a 34-yard gain.
I love those.
That was the 30 yards of their 41-yard drive. That was the only drive they had, and it was because of that.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the only times they moved the ball, and we even had a pick at that point. So like we had so many chances, then they finally fucking somebody catches one of these, and it's their player.
Yeah,
but
they're still hanging in there, hanging in there. But yeah, it was basically nothing until that third quarter. Patriots put up a field goal.
A lot of Matt Turk. Also, or like Matt Jerk.
A lot of Brooks Bernard.
Barnard.
The barnyard animal.
The barnyard, yeah. A street free agent up until this week, but they got so sick of Ken Walter, like, you know what? Fuck it. Cutting him. We're going to find a guy off the street because you can't be doing any worse. And he didn't. But this guy's first fucking game comes in and only has to punt 10 times in a snowstorm. No big deal.
With a crazy wind.
Yeah.
Dude, my game ball goes to this guy. He played out of his mind. Not every punt was great, but
nope. But his first punt, when he had his first punt, it was like a mediocre punt, but he got a standing O when he did it because he wasn't Ken Walter.
Dude, this is his only game
ever.
In his career. Yeah.
Oh shit. Wow.
Yes,
wait, so who punts next week?
I don't know what happens with Brooks because
we'll find out. Yeah,
good.
It was all right.
Yeah, I looked him up on LinkedIn. He was in Baltimore.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, he's a VP at TELUS. He's he used to work at Under Armour doing sports marketing.
And did you connect with him?
Well, once we release this, I'm gonna send it to him on LinkedIn. Be like, hey, buddy, we talked about you.
more appropriate, are you gonna do that from Kelly's account? Because I think that's what we do on this podcast.
I should go like Kelly's.
Barnard, the Barnard dog.
Yeah, that was great.
He's making these up, or
his first punt he got a standing O, and the second punt bounced in the end zone, and he immediately got booed.
And he
fucking tough crowd.
But he also made that Teddy an INT on some level because he punted and got him out on the 5-yard line. It was an awesome punt.
But some of the ripples of Ken Walter being gone is that Damon Heward's now holding for field goals. So
Is that
it didn't look great. Adams he kicked one field goal, but it went over the goalpost.
I've never seen something so close, by the way. That went directly over the goalpost.
Yeah, which technically apparently is good as long as the ball stays inside the outside of the goalpost.
Which are like, oh, good luck telling me.
How do you not have goal line technology for that?
I mean, it's 2000.
I mean, 2003.
You don't even have
Well, yeah, I mean, like now.
They could barely
right?
get the yellow. Oh, now,
I
yeah.
agree, yeah.
Yeah, now just
It seems
points
like
the fucking
this-
lasers up. If it
Yeah,
breaks
it seems
the
like
laser.
some of all those problems are really easy to solve.
Yeah.
Like the QB sneaks at the 1 or the
Mhm.
close to first down. Like they have it in soccer and tennis.
Yeah. We
It
have the
can't be that
technology
hard,
to
right?
do it.
Yeah.
No, where's the VAR?
But I mean, also, how long did it take him to put cameras on the pylons that Belichick wanted? They finally got that this year.
This
No.
smells like a conspiracy.
It is.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree, Greg.
It's because Tom Brady is so good at QB sneaks. Like, you know what? No, we don't want to give him that advantage because he will know and he will practice. And so we don't need that.
Either that or it'll cost the owners like an extra $10K a year to do it. And they're like, nope,
Exactly it, Greg.
nope, not doing it.
That's actually it.
If the players want to pay for it, that's fine.
Yeah. We'll bring it up at the next collective bargaining.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Yeah. So if anybody out here, anybody listening knows Brooks Bernard, the
I'm
barnyard
going to
dog.
reach out to him on LinkedIn, dude.
All right. But yeah, if anybody can get us a hookup, we'll have him on and we'll talk some football. Because I mean, how cool is it to be like a street free agent, come in and like be the punter for this game, and that's it.
That's it.
Like, I would pay money for that. Like, I'm not gonna say I can out punt Brooks Barnard, but I could probably out punt Ken Walter. I'm not a good punter.
No. Andy, no.
You're not any type of punter.
Ken Walter was punting at 20 yards.
You've never punted in any shape,
punted
way.
in high school, yeah.
Andy, that's a hard no.
Oh, how could it be? Well, we'll ask Brooks when he comes on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll ask him. We'll get an expert on. He'll
right.
settle this.
Yeah, exactly. Also on that kind of punt field goal team, something that will come up later, Lonnie Paxton gets hurt in this game.
Yes. I've been sort of keeping my eye on this all year.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still can't find that story about the dude who gets put in service here.
I found it.
You did?
Yep. I'll just keep it on the back burner until it comes up.
Let's bring that up in the Super Bowl because I remember that's where it all came to a head. But this is where he gets injured and he's out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And he gets injured after Brooks Barnard, pretty decent punt to their 44. He commits a holding penalty, looked pretty clear, and gets injured on the play. And then Brooks has to punt again from the back of his own end zone, and it's a 20-yard swing. You know, Brooks' stats should be better.
I agree.
But this is also, I don't know if you caught this, the reason that Tom Brady has a punt.
His first punt. He has multiple.
Did he have
Tom
multiple?
Brady punted?
He did. He punted in the fourth quarter. It actually set up the safety because he punted down to the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Downed by much maligned Daniel Graham, who I think dropped another 3 or 4 passes in this game.
Yeah, bad hands, yeah.
Like on screens, like just hitting him right in the hands and just skipping right
I
out.
thought it was Givens. No?
The announcer said it was Graham, but it may have been Givens.
I think it was Givens because he was a wide receiver and he was one.
Yeah. But great punt team. Actually, a pretty good punt.
Yeah, I Snapchatted it to you, Greg. Come on.
You did?
Fucking Greg.
Yeah.
I'll watch it now.
Oh, yeah, I sent it to a bunch of people.
But speaking of injuries, no Troy Brown in this. He was inactive again. So Kevin Falk was playing the Troy Brown role, I think, of just kind of being that smartest guy on the field sort of thing. You know, early Dynasty MVP Kevin Falk.
All right. Let's actually dig in this because
Okay.
I get why you're saying this, but I have a counterpoint. Not that I don't like Kevin Falk, or maybe even disagree with your stance.
Would you like me to present my argument, then you can counter it?
I already know your argument. You've been talking about it for weeks.
No, but in this one, like he is doing the Troy Brown stuff. Like he didn't put up big numbers.
He has a fumble too.
Because he got knocked the fuck out on a dirty hit. But yeah, that's
I don't know if it's dirty, but he got knocked out.
Which actually, okay. That's a good little segue. Remember us? Yeah. Oh yeah. It's that time of the podcast where I'm gonna start talking about the
announcers.
The announcers, yes.
Dude, they were good.
They were okay, except for this.
Falk is up and off the field. The good news is he's up and off. The bad news is Kevin Falk thinks he's Marshall Falk. Falk is up.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, come on, Ed.
In 2003, maybe.
Yeah,
that's
that was
funny.
awesome. That's good commentating.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that
I do.
flies these
That's
days.
funny.
Oh, why? Because it's
They're
problematic.
cousins, bro.
Because he got knocked the fuck out.
So
I think it's funny.
I don't know. That's rough.
we didn't even know what CTE was.
Dude,
Yeah.
he was lying on the field stiff as a board with his arms like stuck out like this.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
It was a bad one.
He got his bell rung.
Well, according to the Boston Globe, the injury report, Patriots running back Kevin Falk, when knocked out, did not return. Yeah, when knocked out of what? His fucking, I don't know, cranial
Frontal lobe.
Yeah.
But like,
It was a bad
those were the highlights on SportsCenter. Those big hits like that, though. You know,
It's true,
I don't know.
but
there's a difference.
just the
up.
fact that he was laying there with his arms like stuck
But it's
in that
still
position.
objectively funny because they're cousins and they have the same last name.
Yeah.
And Marshall Falk's a big name at the time too. He's not like throwing back to Marshall Falk.
You don't talk
think
about my
it's
Kevin
funny.
Falk like that.
All right, so here's my counterpoint.
ahead.
Which, don't get me wrong, I love Kevin Falk, but he never has like big plays. He's very dependable in short term and like less than 15-yard plays, a couple screens that go along, but he never has any like big play. He never rips off long runs. He never catches a wheel route, takes the house.
Counter to your counterpoint. Neither does Julian Edelman.
No, Julian Edelman has big plays.
Julian Edelman is the engine that keeps drives going. He doesn't have big plays.
He had the
he's not
biggest
getting
play
hit.
for the Patriots this year.
Which one?
The one against Seattle. Remember that one? That crazy catch? That was the Patriots' longest play from scrimmage all year.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a good thing. That's like saying Kevin Falk is your leading rusher on the year. Like that's not what you want, you know?
That's a fair point.
Yeah. But I think Kevin Falk, because I mean, there's always that one guy. First it's Troy Brown, then it's Kevin Falk, and then I'd say you could probably throw James White in that. Maybe even a Deion Lewis back in the day. But there's always that one guy when you need that conversion, or you just need a couple yards, like the drives have been stalling and you're not getting anywhere. The one guy that's going to jumpstart things and always be dependable, and he'll get you the first down. He's not going to be flashy about it. That's the Deion Branches of the world, or the Randy Mosses. But to get that first down, or even Wes Welker, same idea. Those guys that just kind of keep things moving, keep drives alive, so that Brady can then go take shots at.
It's a WD-40.
I love it.
I'm not disagreeing, but I don't know if that's
WD-33.
WD-33. We just made up a sick nickname after a player has retired.
Yeah.
Damn it, dude.
Nah, fuck it. We're making t-shirts.
We retired like 10 years ago, dude.
WD-33. That's sick.
That's sick. All right. We'll save that for the next player who fits that role. Maybe it'll be Gunnar Olszewski or someone, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but Kevin Falk in this game, he was returning punts sometimes. It was him and Tyrone Poole. And I think he was like the hands guy, and Tyrone Poole was like supposed to be the returner guy. So one punt that was about to go in the end zone, Kevin Falk came over and like pretended to block the gunner. So the gunner paid attention to him so the ball could roll into the end zone. Great heads up play. And then he also recovered Tyrone.
You're going to give the announcers credit for calling that out?
Yep.
Most announcers miss that, Andy. Come on. You gotta
That's right.
You gotta be fair.
Yeah. But then they also fucking make that joke that was made in wasn't that a Snickers commercial? The guy gets a concussion. It's a football player. It's like,
Why are you shitting on them for it's on commercials? Of course they're gonna make those jokes then, Andy. Why is that a bad thing?
It's a bad thing now.
Okay.
Yeah, but
We're
we can't
cancel culture
judge
now.
Greg
their
has said all
shit.
sorts of bad things in this podcast. We're gonna judge him now for it.
Yeah.
He's not famous enough for that. Yeah,
No, and I did it knowingly.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of this game, Dietrich Ward was returning punts, which that's tough.
Dietrich.
Ward.
Well, Kevin also
Really neat pickup.
It's neat.
It's just so neat we could get that guy.
Yeah. Him and JJ Stokes.
I'm forever going to associate Dietrich Ward with the word neat from here on out. Because my exposure is going to be like these 3 games he's involved in and that one quote.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all the games he's really involved in too.
Yeah.
I don't think he plays much more.
It's incredible, man. The fact that these people are trying now, Dietrich Ward and JJ Stokes committing 1 million penalties.
Yeah.
And still make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like this offense was not great. And
and Antoine Smith is back there as your lead back.
Yeah.
With nothing in the tank.
Who was apparently last week was inactive for the game.
Well, that's because they're on the turf.
Right. Yeah. But he's going from inactive to being the starter. Like it's typical Patriots shit, isn't it?
Getting 30 carries.
And you look at the offense, you'd be like, hey, if we just have like a Corey Dillon type back in there, we'd be so good.
It's true.
It's so true because like the one thing they're missing is like an awesome run game because there's a bunch of highlights from Clinton Portis.
So the game break for this was going back to the Broncos Chiefs game because Chiefs are in first place. They're a game ahead of the Patriots, but they're playing a division game against the Broncos, and it's Priest Holmes versus what's his face?
Clinton Portis. He was really good in that Denver game we played earlier this year.
Yeah. So they start off the game trading touchdowns. So they both had 2 touchdowns each. But Clinton Portis ended up winning this battle of the running backs for going 22 carries, 218 yards, 5 touchdowns to beat the Chiefs, which put New England in first place in the AFC.
Those touchdowns were so sick too. One, he put just open field move on the safety.
Oh,
awesome. That was the sickest one. One, he just like accelerated the goal to the pylon. No one could touch him. And the other one was just flat out speed. Like
all his touchdowns were from like 30, 40 yards out. Like it didn't really have any short ones, I don't think.
It was so sweet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was it sunny there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a game break that has a different weather.
Yeah.
You know, like
or
if
even
you're
like a
watching,
different time of day.
And
Like if you watch it and it's like getting towards like the nighttime games in New England, then they cut to like a San Diego game or something or San Francisco. It's like, oh look, it's noon.
Yeah.
And it cuts back and like everyone's just wearing slop because the field in Gillette sucks at this point.
Which, did you catch this? The field is heated.
Yeah, I did see that.
They have a heated field. They heat it to 55 degrees like you would a pool.
Yeah.
That's fucking. I want a heated fucking field in my yard.
Well, it clearly didn't work.
That's amazing. Can I heat my driveway?
Yes,
I can. Fuck, I bet that's expensive.
You can heat your floor of your bathroom too. That's pretty common.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I think Kelly's dad did the whole house.
There you go.
The whole house has heated floors.
Yeah,
the whole entire thing. It's ridiculous.
That's a lot.
Yeah, they just runs like this small tubing.
Yeah.
In these grooves, and it's just the entire floor. They were up there in like the middle of December putting it in.
Holy shit!
It's like this brittle tubing.
Yeah. It's not great to put in.
He's like, yeah. Lori was like getting blisters on her hands, and he's just like, whoosh, whoosh. mush. Well, she just fucking digs her fingers in these grooves.
Oh, poor woman.
It's like, God damn, Mr. Mooney.
Oh boy.
Speaking of whipping, Dolphins got whipped.
Yeah. So I wrote down that
you didn't like that one, Andy? Come on.
I wrote down that the only player who was staying warm today was Jay Fiedler because the defense was bringing the heat on him the entire fucking game. but he was also 4 for 10 for 15 yards in the first half.
He just couldn't throw the ball into the wind at all, and they knew it, and they were breaking on every single slant or cut.
Yeah.
Just
nobody was open.
Jay Fiedler, not known for his arm strength.
Yeah. It was bad.
Yeah, the whole thing was bad. But last week they apparently they came in on a high because last week the Dolphins beat the shit out of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
41 to
3 or 4
something.
in a row, they said.
They had 5 turnovers, 5 sacks. I think it was a defensive thing. So I think these AFC East teams are all defense heavy game manager offenses. You know,
it's back when they were all good too. Like these games were big games.
Yeah, because I mean the Bills, same sort of thing. They had that defense that we saw week 1 that absolutely smoked the Patriots. The Jets always have good defenses.
I feel like that all falls apart for all 3 of them after this season.
Pretty close. I think the Dolphins may have one more.
They'll start falling off pretty soon for all of them.
But speaking of falling off, Ricky Williams, we've talked about this because he did his own contract. Yeah. And I think he had the most rushing yards. He led the league last year with like 1,700 or something like that. He's already over 1,000 yards this season, but they're all like, he's fallen off. Okay.
He looked fine. They just
had 3 consecutive 100 yards games coming into this. And it get broken here. But like, I think the reason they were saying he had fallen off was because he went from averaging something like, I think they may have shown it. Let me see if I took a screenshot of that.
It's because he likes smoking weed. They're trying to blackball him.
I think
conspiracy again.
But I think I didn't. But it was something like he was averaging last season. He averaged like 5.7 yards a carry on the season, and this year he's averaging like under 4. It's like 3.5. So it's taking him a whole lot more carries.
It's part Dave Wannstedt's fault. There's like a 3rd and 3, and they passed Fiedler into the wind, and it's like, dude can't throw it more than 3 yards. Why are you not running him? And even the commentators are calling him out.
Which, if you remember the end of the season last season, he was backed up at it. He was winning, and he had already rushed for 170-something yards with Ricky Williams. He decided to throw it 3 times out of his own fucking end zone.
Yes.
Let the Patriots get to overtime.
Yeah.
So not really known for his...
more known for his mustache than his play calling. We'll call it.
Yeah, I would say so. So that's not great. But you know who was great in this game?
Teddy Bruschi.
I was going to say Rodney Harrison.
Oh yeah.
Teddy Bruschi had a great play. Yeah, I would say Harrison and Vrabel were the top 2. Vrabel apparently had the flu all week, hadn't practiced, came to this game, and absolutely was just like the most disruptive force on that defensive line.
This is his best game of his career, I would think, to this point.
To this point, probably.
The first time you see him, and it's like, that's a Vrabel you know.
Yeah.
And the games you watched him, and he hadn't been nearly as good as you remember. You know he's going to get there, obviously, but this is the first game where he just looks like a real problem for the tackles.
Yeah, him and Richard Seymour running stunts all day. And just,
Richard had been doing that all the last 2 years at this point.
Yeah. I just like, because, you know, when you think of Richard Seymour, you think of him just being like this big, tall, long dude, batting down passes, running down quarterbacks. But every time they tried to run at him, they tried to put 2 offensive linemen on him and push him, and he just didn't move.
Yeah.
It was hysterical. Because, I mean, you think of that with Ted Washington. Like, okay, yeah, you try to move him, that doesn't happen because he's like, you know, weighs as much as the 3 of us combined.
Mount Washington.
Yeah.
Washington Monument.
That's right. I don't have a
Richard Seymour Butts.
But Seymour was actually also playing fullback in this game due to an injury to Dan Klecko. And they just decided, you know what, fuck it. Fullback's not worth paying, so we'll just plug in Richard Seymour. Didn't look like a fullback, I will say. But Rodney Harrison, the commentators said that we're going to give Rodney an honorary neck roll and a number in the 50s because he's playing like a fucking linebacker.
Yeah.
Because
and the best part was his timing on the snap. However, he figured out the snap count and his timing. He would just come sprint. It's like you're watching arena football where he's just running towards the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you have that one guy in motion. Yeah, it's true. And he timed it perfectly every time. And I think there was one play where he did that and he timed it, but he got picked up by the running back, but the running back was running a screen And as soon as the running back didn't block Rodney Harrison the way that Rodney thought he should, Rodney's like, something's up. And just grabbed the guy and just followed him, let him catch the ball. Like, didn't knock it down, let him catch the ball, and then just ragdoll him to the ground for like a 2-yard loss. It was an amazing play.
It was pretty sweet.
But Rodney actually, the week before this game, actually had some words with Randy McMichael. Is he a tight end? Apparently, after the last game they played, the Patriots, when they won in overtime, McMichael called Rodney Harrison dirty. And apparently this week, I found an article in the Sun Sentinel that said, in their ongoing and seemingly endless clash of words, New England Patriots safety Rodney Harrison had an idea last week for Dolphins tight end Randy McMichael. Quote, I think he just needs to basically shut up and play football.
What do you think he would have said if he really said what he wanted to?
This fucking asshole.
What did he say to his friends?
What did he say to McMichael? Because I'm pretty sure they were chatting all game.
I didn't really notice it. I don't know.
I don't blame him. I don't blame either of them.
No, yeah.
If I was playing against Harrison, I'd be fucking telling him he was dirty too.
Yeah.
Because he is.
Oh, yeah. All right, so here we go. This is where it started. While Harrison and McMichael say they have no dislike for each other, their recent conversations through the media have made that difficult to understand. After McMichael caught 8 passes in the Dolphins' 19-13 overtime loss to the Patriots on October 19th, he called Harrison, quote, a dirty player. For emphasis, he added, quote, he's a garbage player.
Ooh.
McMichael's comments were prompted by Harrison calling him overrated and delivering a forearm to the back of the head. Harrison's response, quote, when he makes a catch, he gets up and does his little dance. So when we get a chance, we're going to make him pay. We're going to try and rip his head off.
Dude, the boys are beefing.
McMichael said he and Harrison chatted a little during Sunday's game, like this game we're talking about, but nothing nasty. He said they complimented each other. At one point, after McMichael dropped a pass, Harrison delivered a friendly pat on his backside. Quote, anytime somebody calls you out, it's sort of disrespecting you, Harrison said. I told Randy during the game, just play football. You're a good player. Just go play football.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when people talk shit to each other like that, they're both the same type of person.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of like underlying thing of like, yeah, I'm being a prick, but that's kind of the point.
Yeah, exactly.
And like they can see a little bit of each other in each other to know that like, yeah, this isn't real hatred. We'd probably like each other if we're on the same team.
Yeah, game recognized game.
Yeah, we're playing the game that needs to be played here.
But I think McMichael may have also been kind of conciliatory because of the game that he had. Because let's see, Randy McMichael, 5 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards. And on the one drive that the Dolphins actually had, they got to the Patriots 10-yard line. And I think it was 3rd down. McMichael missed his assignment, which was Rodney Harrison coming in on the blitz. And Rodney Harrison strip sacked Jay Fiedler, which Patriots recovered. And that was like their only scoring chance. So he's like, McMichael was talking about how he's the one that kind of fucked up this game.
It wasn't
like,
quite
his fault they didn't score. And,
we should call him Randy
the Dolphins came right
McFlurry.
back to the red zone and got fucked up again. There was that Richard Seymour like 20-yard sack.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, they got like into field goal range at one point, and then it went, I think I wrote this down. It was the beginning of the 4th. It was the first drive of the 4th. They started their own 40, and then on the last play of the 3rd quarter, they hit a deep ball to, I don't even fucking care, which put them at the New England 33 to start the 4th quarter. And then immediately from that, Vrabel got a strip sack, which the Dolphins recovered. So it's 3rd and 20. And then from there, Seymour got another sack. And now it's 4th and 33 from back on their own side of the field. It was like their own like 40 something.
That's so
they had
like
to punt.
you strip sack and get the ball back for your offense. Your offense doesn't do shit with it.
Yep.
Brooks Barnott has a punt with 30 seconds left into the wind. If only you guys had even run the ball twice, then we could have punted with the wind at his back. But nope, he's got a punt for the last play in the quarter into the wind.
Yep.
They get the ball, hit a big pass, or right back to where they were, and then it's just like, nah.
And at this point, it's still 3-0 because it's the 3rd quarter, and the Patriots have managed 3 whole points in this game. And yet it still felt like the game was out of reach because this defense was just so dominating. And that's what they did. Like, you know what? Fuck it. Fourth quarter, this is our game. So we're going to sack him twice and put him 4th and 33. The fuck out of our half the
You
field.
missed one play on there. It was a near interception from Ty Law. So it went near interception.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Strip sack, actual sack for 13 yards.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
But then I think that was like immediately after that was the play that Falk got knocked out and fumbled.
Yes, they punted it. Remember, Tyrone Poole missed because they punted with the wind, I guess. And Tyrone Poole missed the punt, bounced at his feet, and Kevin Falk recovered it. And then the next play, he gets knocked out.
Yeah.
Why was it a dirty hit, Andy? Who delivered it?
One of the safeties, I think. Yeah. It was kind of like he got wrapped up from behind by Junior Seau, so his legs, and then just got like his head taken off, like helmet to helmet.
It was clean. He led with his shoulder. It was just bad timing because Junior lunged, barely got his ankles, and like wrapped both his ankles up at once. And Kevin Falk just started falling at that moment, right as he got hit. So he was like, his body was like,
I don't think it was dirty, but it was a brutal hit.
It was a big hit.
Like you knew as soon as he got hit that like he was out before he hit the ground.
Yeah.
Brock Marion.
Yes, I think that's what it was.
I just looked through their roster and I was like, who on this list would I pick to do a dirty hit?
I think it may have been
Brock
Marion.
Marion.
Yeah, I think it was. Headhunting.
Typical Brock.
Speaking of headhunting, though, one of the Dolphins players, this is actually going to be my best, but this is a perfect segue. His helmet exploded.
Oh yeah, I saw that
in the middle of the game.
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
Yeah, so I have a couple pictures that I'll post in the show notes. But like, holy shit! Like,
not just a piece chipped off, like
cracked in
directly
half.
down the center into two like equal size
like
pieces of helmet.
Like, you know how they have the stripe along the middle of the helmet? Like it cracked all the way along. That was in two pieces.
Was it because of the cold? Did they talk about it on the broadcast?
No, they didn't. All they really said about it was, hey, you know the guy who broke the most helmets? Mike Singletary.
Yes.
Okay.
Shaquille O'Neal.
I mean, that's kind of crazy.
LSU.
How many helmets did he break? I've never seen that before
right?
or since.
Yeah. I mean, well, Drew Bledsoe had his helmet dented. That's not great.
I don't remember that.
And the hit that sheared against the Jets.
Oh, right.
His face mask apparently was twisted and dented because the hit was over.
Oh, Lewis.
Yeah.
How far we've come, you know?
Yep.
Making fun of Kevin Falk for concussions, helmet splitting on the field. Now you can't even touch him.
12 whole points being scored.
Yeah. Back when football was football.
Old school football.
Man.
But we haven't actually touched on the iconic play of this.
Teddy with one D.
Teddy with one D. Teddy with one TD.
Ooh.
This is off the barnyard dog punt. Puts the ball, like dribble the ball out of bounds at the 5. Not bad. And the next play, as the announcers are talking about how this is the perfect time to get Ricky Williams going, just pound it out of the end zone and just give it to your workhorse. That's why you pay him all this money. Jay Fiedler drops back and throws a pick 6 to Teddy Bruschi.
The first play, immediately.
First play, yeah. As he's saying this, which again,
it's a ridiculous catch though.
Yeah, I'd forgotten how good of an interception it was, but this was one of the most athletic plays I've seen a linebacker make.
Or just like a pure hands play where it's like he was like 5 yards away from this quarterback who was like trying to zip it into tight coverage. Yeah. And it just no bobble, nothing, just zip.
Nope. Yeah. Just snagged it.
Yeah.
But even if like
fully outstretched too.
Yeah.
It looked like Chatham was there to block that down too. Like he threw that in. That was a bad. There was like the guy covering the receiver was close. 2 linebackers right there.
Yeah. I mean, all his throws in this game were like that though. Like none of them were good, but this, I mean, I don't think this was a play he expected that it was going to get intercepted the way it did.
He just doesn't know the concept of looking anybody off.
I think that might be true.
He just looks right as soon as, and then they figure it out soon enough. And you can watch Teddy in the replay. He just hides behind a blocker real quick and like watches Fiedler and then just
slowly drifts that way as soon as the throw comes. But like fully outstretched, just absolutely snags it.
His
and
celebration
in the end zone.
A+ as well.
Oh, dropping to his knees and like sliding on his knees
steps as he goes to his
drags his feet.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I remember it's iconic.
Poster of this, Greg?
Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like they have a poster of like him just like on his knees with his
Yeah.
hands in the air, and then it's like a all black border.
It's like
black border.
Platoon, right?
You can see everyone throwing snow and shit in the air.
Yeah, there's another iconic picture of him throwing snow up, like by the stands, and like everybody else throwing snow too. But that even just the throwing the snow to the timing of the song too, as if it were like fireworks, was absolutely amazing. Hey! Snow on
the PA guy with that fucking hey song.
Oh yeah, fucking nailed it.
That was gonna be my best because like what a fucking song to play.
Except that's Gary Glitter, so he's been canceled, so you can't play that anymore.
Why? What happened to Gary Glitter?
He's a
I didn't know that was Gary Glitter.
Who is Gary Glitter?
The Hey song.
He's the guy that wrote that song. He's a pop artist. I think he's a kitty diddler. I don't play that song anymore. Yeah.
No.
Oh, I did Lost Prophets. Remember those guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were into that sort of stuff too.
Yeah, the lead singer, huge
Yeah.
diddler.
Yeah.
Now I can't listen to them anymore.
I mean, I didn't really.
You
listen
can
to
just
them.
do it on headphones and just don't tell people.
Just do it on headphones.
Yeah. Yeah, separate the music from the artist.
Mm.
No,
Yeah.
I was wrong about that photo you have, Greg. It is the one you were talking about, Andy, of him throwing the snow in the air in front of the fans.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a great one.
It's signed on eBay, $150.
All right.
Steady with 1D.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
Arizona.
Arizona.
Nice.
Because he's going back to be like a coaching consultant now, I think.
Yeah, I think
Did
so.
you know
Because
he's a-
remember Lisa that we had on?
Simpsons?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, sure. She went to Arizona, so she's a big Teddy Bruschi fan.
Bruschi. Remember that shirt I got you, Andy?
I still have
The
it.
Budweiser looking one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said,
Bruschi,
Dude.
king of linebackers. I still have it.
I remember I was probably like around this time, maybe like 14. That was like the first time I was like, dude, I just got the dopest Christmas present for my brother. It's got beer on it.
and
It's so
only
sick,
time.
dude.
Yeah. Well,
He's gonna fucking love me so much after this.
That was a great one. That was top notch.
What happened, Greg?
I remember seeing it at the mall in one of those stands, and remember they used to put those things in the middle of the aisles.
Yep.
And I was like, dude, that shirt's sweet. And
carts.
I went back later and bought it for you. And I was so hyped.
Well, I haven't even been able to unveil my Christmas gift this year you guys got me, which is probably on that
That's
level. It's funnier, but maybe not something I'll wear as often.
Yeah. How are we not making you wear that for every episode? Of
Because he
the
hasn't been on yet.
That's true.
We're teasing it, but
Yeah.
it'll happen. We'll even post a picture.
You'll
when
have to
does.
wear it a bunch, so that's good, I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yes.
Did you know
So
Teddy
I-
was an accomplished saxophonist?
I did. I don't remember. I think that came up.
One of the announcers said it, and they
Like
made
Lisa
it.
Simpson?
Yeah. Like Lisa said, that's correct.
So I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was the only score in the game. I thought it was 10-0. Because unlike Greg, I don't look at the score before I watch it. And I have a note right here. I was like, man, too bad we didn't score again. There would have been even more snow. Because
And
like
then-
that was like such an organic, like cool thing. And like
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool. And then like I was like, yeah, it's cool, but like next time we score, it'll be even better.
Yep. Because everybody's ready for it.
And then they closed it out with the safety too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was
Which, like, an absolute garbage time safety. Probably the only garbage time safety I've ever seen. Because
yeah.
Miami's this is after Tom Brady punts it down to the 1. Miami starts at their own 1 and it's now 4th and 8. And like, well, we kind of have to go for it. We're down 10-0. There's less than 2 minutes left. And it was Vrabel again, wasn't it?
Yeah,
We've
it
got the
was.
pressure.
Jarvis Green.
Well, Vrabel basically pushed him into Jarvis Green, who was standing there with his arms wide open.
And even the play before, he almost had a strip sack. And
Yes, he did.
barely got the
Got his
ball
hand
out.
on the ball, causing the incompletion.
Legit
He was
back-to-back
just
plays.
he was unblockable in this game. It was amazing.
All right, you want to do
So-
best and worst? I think we touched on most of the good plays.
I have one question before we do that, because we've seen a lot of iconic moments in these games, but they all seem to be defensive moments. And one of the last remaining arguments I'm hearing now about Tom Brady not being the best, and they're like scraping the bottom of the barrel now,
Oh
is
I can't believe there's any left. They got
Tom Brady is not the greatest because he doesn't have an iconic moment.
What?
Yeah. Because
What the
Joe
man-
Montana, the argument was Joe Montana has the catch to Dwight Clark.
Good point.
I don't know what Peyton Manning has.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a good point.
Aaron
Like
Rodgers has
that.
a couple of like Hail Marys, you remember?
Yeah.
Tom
Like,
Brady
what's-
has the comeback from 20.
Yeah, but what's
How is
the
that not
what's the
like-
play?
Yeah, there's no like one play that you remember Tom Brady.
I would say
That's
the
their argument.
spike in the snowball, but I'm partial to that game.
No, it's the spike in the Rams game where he fucking spikes it and catches it.
Mm,
Yeah, but that's not a play. That's just like
That's
a
play.
moment.
It's a play recorded.
He didn't even make a play though. That's a that's a
Well,
kid.
like, that also showed that Tom Brady's super cool as a cucumber as a second-year player in like the biggest moments. Like that was when, and even John Madden's commentation of that made it better. Where he's like, "Oh, what Tom Brady did just gave me chills."
oh, I've got one.
All right,
It just came to me. Tom Brady's touchdown pass against the Saints when they shouldn't have even been in it, and you had Zolak's,
yeah.
where's the beef, show ponies, all that garbage.
Show ponies.
Yeah, whatever the hell it was.
That was a pretty good one.
That's pretty iconic, I think.
Yeah.
There's a million iconic plays. Like you can get fucked with that argument.
Well, that's the thing though. Like Tom Brady,
Has so many. Which one do you choose?
Well, no, I think that's the beauty of Tom Brady is that it's not about him being like a player that can do things that other people can't. He's a player that everybody could do what he does, but no one does it every single time. And when the pressure's on and just comes through, like he's not
In the biggest
he's not even that talented, but he still fucking wins every time.
yeah. But his fundamentals are so much better than anybody else's ever. His decision making, his footwork is just like pocket presence, his accuracy, his timing, like just all of those pieces. And the fact that he does it exactly the same regardless of the situation. Like it doesn't matter if he's down 28-3 in the Super Bowl. He's still doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again. And the fact that he can do it on such a high level for so long, I think is what makes
The
it.
consistency is really.
And also the fact that he doesn't like put himself in the situations where he needs to be the hero either.
So
you
you're
know?
saying Belichick's a bad coach? Are you on Team Greg now?
No.
I have a pro Belichick take here. You guys want to hear this one?
Oh my
Wow,
god.
let's hear this.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me figure. This is we are
recording.
at what time in the meeting are we? I can't find it.
6 p.m. 2021. Go on, Greg.
I'm listening. I'm gonna cut this.
Well, all of this, you're hearing a lot of talk now that Brady won the Super Bowl that they're like, oh, if the Patriots had just gone out and like got some weapons for Brady, maybe he would have stayed. They tried. Like they went and got Demaryius Thomas. They got Antonio Brown. You know,
They got
people were
Josh
getting
Gordon.
hurt. They got Josh Gordon.
Forgot
Like
about him.
they got a ton of people. They just didn't work out.
Yeah. The
It's
fact
not
that
Belichick's fault.
all the people they got, like every single one of them didn't work out is just like
Yeah. I thought they made more of an effort that year than they had like any previous years.
yeah. But I feel like they've been doing it for a couple of years too, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they had been just kind of like selling out a bit. Like they drafted N'Keal Harry. It's the first
Yeah, they drafted
wide
N'Keal
receiver
Harry
they-
that year too.
Yeah. And the
So,
year
like,
before,
don't fucking talk to me about them not
Right.
trying to surround him with weapons.
exactly. And
Yes,
the year
they did.
before they drafted
So,
Sony Michel too, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like offensive pieces to for him to build around. So
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't work out. That's
Yeah,
just that's
sometimes,
how
yeah.
football works. You know,
Right.
Antonio
Running
Brown is gonna molest his fucking trainer.
Yep.
Yeah. It's nothing much you could do there.
Although nothing's changed, but like all that heat's off of him all of a sudden for some reason.
Yeah.
He's not
Time
New
heals all
England's.
wounds, Andy.
Huh.
But he's also
Imagine
not
that.
going to like give stupid contracts out either, like the Carson Wentz one that, you know, he has one good year, gets hurt, and they're like, you know what? Here's a new contract that pays you shitloads of money.
The
Same with the
Eagles are
Rams.
now on the hook for
Yeah.
30 million, 34 million this year.
I
He's not going to be on the team. It's the
biggest
biggest.
just traded for him, and they have 2 years and $45 million committed.
But they have to pay like 34 million this year. It's the biggest dead cap hit ever in the history of the league.
Oh, the Eagles are fucked too. They're both fucked.
And this is all after building a statue of their backup quarterback, who they also shipped out in front of the stadium.
Dude, those people have tattoos of that guy.
Well, I mean, if you win the Super Bowl, I get that.
But
But, like
that-
building the
that's-
statue
that's
seems a
one
little
earlier.
premature, especially when
That's
you're
one
still on the
earlier.
team. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Anybody can do it. Nobody does it as consistently as Tom.
It's true.
It's true.
All right, best and worst. Let's go.
All right,
Oh,
give me
wait,
best.
wait. Before we do it, can we do trivia? Remember we talked.
Oh,
last
yeah,
week about
trivia.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not gonna go overboard here, but I'm gonna try and pull one trivia question a week
I love it.
in the context to the dynasty. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So since 2001,
Yep.
there have been 7 players on the Patriots that have caught 100 passes but are not wide receivers.
100 passes total or an
Yes.
season?
Rob
100 passes.
Gronkowski.
Yep, Rob Gronkowski is number 1 with 521 receptions.
Hernandez.
520. Okay.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez is number 5.
Oh, shit. He's on there.
with
How many are there? 7?
175. There's 7. Yep.
Okay.
James White.
James White is number 3.
Kevin Falk.
Kevin Falk is number 2.
Ooh, number 2. See, that's what I'm saying. How many did he have?
He had 431 catches.
Damn.
That's a
As
lot.
a running.
Well, that's
back.
actually 1999 to 2001.
That's fine. Close enough. I'll give it to him. So we're missing.
Vereen.
Vereen,
Ooh, nice.
107. He's number 7.
Ben Watson.
Nope. Oh, yeah. Ben Watson,
Ooh.
184. He was 4th.
So that's 6. We got one more.
Yeah, in 6th place.
Non-receiver. It's not going to be the fullback.
Larry Senners.
Yeah. Has to be a running back or a tight
I'll
end.
give you his time frame.
Yeah.
2002 through 2006. So he's on this
So
roster.
now-ish.
Daniel Graham.
Daniel Graham.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How many did he have?
120 catches.
So he has more than what did Watson have?
Watson had 184.
Okay.
Dude, Hernandez had 175 in 3 seasons.
That's bananas.
He could have been so good. That was my takeaway from that list is, God damn it, Hernandez.
That would've been
you
so
bitch.
Yeah, that offense would have given people problems for fucking
Yeah, it would've
years.
been so-
Like, it's
they
almost
signed them both
unsolvable.
the contracts too. Like they had them both locked up.
Yeah, and because it was one of those like unsolvable offenses because
Right.
you could run out 2 tight ends and just run a fucking power run theme, and as soon as they ship on more defensive linemen or linebackers, you just fucking spread it out. Same fucking guys.
Mhm.
Oh, brutal. What could have been?
What
We're
could have
complaining
been.
that they only won 6 Super
That
Bowls.
might be the overall dynasty worst. No.
Aaron Hernandez. I think it's everybody's dynasty worst. Yeah. What else are you gonna do?
That is my worst take of all time is that Hernandez will end up with a better career than Gronk. And it's getting worse. every year it gets worse.
It's still
Talk
going.
about
Yeah.
scraping the bottom of the barrel. You didn't even hit the wood yet. You got a lot.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's a tough look.
Yeah.
Yikes. I like that you're still owning up to it though.
Uh-huh.
You're the
You gotta
Max
eat your humble
Kellerman,
pie, you know?
the Max Kellerman of the Brown family. I like it.
Mhm.
All right, so let's do best and worst. That was great, Greg. Yeah, keep those coming. I like that.
Greg, you can go first on best or worst since great trivia question and you didn't watch the game.
Okay, my best Ty Law. I made this promise a while ago, but anytime Ty Law has an interception in
That's
an
right.
NFL game, he will be named the best of the game.
He almost had a couple other like dope
He ripped it
diving
up, too.
ones, like cutting back on it.
He was hurt too, right? He was playing through injury.
He pulled a hammy on the second almost interception. Yeah.
My worst is HP printers. I had about an hour and a half fucking battle royale with my printer before getting on this call.
Greg is trying to
And-
print his notes for the call because he needs to print them out and have them in front of him for this call.
Why does it say paper jam when there's no paper jammed?
Oh, beautiful.
All right, you go, Andy. I got a couple.
All right. Let's see. I'm just trying to figure out what my best and worst are here. What do we have? Oh, my best was the graphic that they showed probably halfway through the game. The game fact was the title of it. It was seats filled with fans, 45,000. Seats filled with snow, 17,000.
Huh. Wait, so they couldn't get people in the 17,000?
I think that's just how many people showed up.
Yeah, I bet those people didn't even show up.
A lot of people just like looked outside and said, "Fucking 2 feet of snow. I'm all set."
I still don't understand how they do that. They just do it by manual power, right?
Yeah,
Well, you've never seen it on like the highlights where they basically have. Well, nowadays they figure out where they put like they put the chutes in. Everybody just like shovels the snow into the chutes. But yeah, there's no.
Yeah, but just think about like
automated process.
shoveling in like small crevices is a pain in the ass.
I don't
You know?
think they even had shovels.
What? They use their hands?
I don't know. They just all the way out, it just showed shots of the stands, and like any empty seats had this gigantic snow mound on it.
Yeah, that's what I would expect to see. Is like
that's what it was because there was the opening shot of the whole like YouTube is this dude sitting on top and pulling his kid up to the top.
Yeah, just dragging his ass up.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, imagine being that kid and you're just like, all right, let's go.
Hell yeah.
Dad's pulling you on top of the snowbank. You can get a better view because you're higher.
It's a great
up.
memory.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, fucking.
I bet. Remember when like Buffalo was doing like get a free ticket if you come and help us shovel the stadium?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago.
That's a great look.
That's a great look.
Yeah, I love that.
That was sort of my best too. That was probably my number because like the fans here were A++.
Oh yes, yeah. The people that showed up in this game were like the hardcore. Like they were here for a good time.
There was a dude with a sign that said, "Today's special is frozen fish." This is like the very end of the game.
Yeah, that's early 2000s humor there.
Yeah,
it was.
Squeeze the cheese.
Yep.
I don't know if you want the very last like clip of the YouTube video.
Yes.
Is the dude with this Dolphins construction hat just getting a fucking load of snow dumped on him?
Somebody hit him with like a massive fucking salt in the back of his head. It was just like poof, and like the whole snowball just like exploded across him. And he just like he had like one of those like rubber masks on too. Yeah. But you could tell like just the way he was just so dejected. Be like, can't believe I fucking flew up from Florida for this. I had to sit in this fucking snow and we fucking lost 12-0 and I'm getting pelted with snowballs.
Yeah, dude. For as good as much fun as the Patriots fans had with that because we won and because they're serving beer because it was so fucking cold, just sitting on snow. That Dolphins guy was having the absolute worst fucking time.
Yeah. But for my worst, I will say this was the 18th game in a row where the Patriots have failed to score an opening drive touchdown.
I feel like you're saying that because we score one next week, but all right.
No, I don't know. They showed the stat at the beginning. It's like, oh, the Patriots haven't had an opening drive touchdown in the last 17 games, and then they didn't score with this game either. So it's up to 18 now, which isn't great. But they also never lose if they're winning at halftime.
Yeah,
so
who cares? Winning games, winning ugly.
Patriots they're never like a fast starting team, I feel. They're second half team most.
All right. I will throw one extra on the fans. 100 straight sellout.
Yes, this was the 100th straight sellout since the Crafts bought the team. Not too bad. I'll
start with my negatives. It was sort of the field goal kicking from Vinatieri. It
was sketchy.
He put that one right on it. The extra point after Teddy's touchdown was a
doinked it through.
Yeah.
Almost a double doink. Like it hit one and came back across and just went behind the other.
It was a 54-yarder with the wind in your back at the end of the half that he missed too.
Barely though. He did not miss out by much. But yeah, I'm curious if the holding situation
these are all pre-Paxton getting hurt.
Yeah, no, but the holder was no longer Ken Walter.
With
Damon Heward. So they hadn't had a lot of time to get acquainted, if you will.
Let's not throw around baseless allegations here, Andy. Okay.
I'm just repeating what the commentator said, so you can take it.
You don't come after Damon without some hard proof.
Commentators had a great line. Asante Samuel's missed interception. He's like, I hope it didn't hurt him because it hit him right in the fucking hand / chest.
Yeah, it did. That was pretty good.
But I know you gave it to Ty Law, but I'm gonna give it to Eugene Wilson.
Hey,
ooh,
Eugene!
Really? In this game, there was that 3rd and 1 where Ricky Williams bursts through the line. It's 1-on-1, him and Eugene. That's with the same move that Portis put on.
Yes,
shoestrings him and holds him.
Great call. Yeah, he did. He was like last defender, 1-on-1 with Ricky Williams, and just catches enough of his feet.
He had a big hit where he laid lumber early in the game, and
he did.
They were talking about how he went to Illinois, and I think that He was at Illinois when the Patriots had the Miracle on Lake Champlain game.
Oh, you might
Right? Because that was their stadium. We were playing there last year. Yeah, it was
2002. Yeah, against
his rookie year, so it was his senior year. So he probably was at that fucking game.
Oh fuck, he may have been watching
Yeah.
the Patriots come back on the Bears.
If you're a senior or whatever, about to get NFL drafted on the football team, you're at the Patriots game there.
That's interesting. I bet. Yeah, I wonder if he was. That's funny. Not bad. What's your worst?
Field goal kicking.
Oh, that's right.
Start with the worst. Let's finish.
All right, couple last things. The poll that they put up for this game, because they seem to do that every game now. Which of the following players should be the AFC starting Pro Bowl quarterback? I'm going to give you a list here. One of these things, not like the others. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Steve McNair, Trent Green, John Kitna.
Kitna played for the Bengals, right?
I couldn't even tell.
John Kitna. What do you mean? Kitna's a legend.
Yeah. This is when the Bengals first started getting good, too. They had been shit for wicked long, I think. Up to this
Bengals legend John Kitna?
Yeah, Kitna's awesome.
Whole Kitna caboodle?
Kitna, Trent Green, they're the same. That wasn't as obvious to me.
Yeah.
No, this is Trent Green Chiefs era. He's
handing the ball off to Priest Holmes.
Yeah, but he's still putting up gaudy numbers because of it.
Yeah.
And lastly, this doesn't really have to do with the podcast, except that it's both of you are involved in it. But Facebook today gave me those on this day thing, and you were both involved for some reason. And I just want to know if you remember what either of these are about, because you both posted on my Facebook. Greg from 13 years ago, February 18th, 2008. Yo, Andy, you're probably going to poop on for this, but I lost my cell phone this weekend. I need your number so I can call you about tomorrow. And don't tell Mom or Ellie.
Okay.
And then Steve's, I don't know what it is, so maybe you can shine some light on it. 12 years ago, February 18, 2009, so 1 year after to the day, one of my roommates does. As to the reason why, your guess is as good as mine, but I got a better arm than you and Greg. He might be the soccer princess, but you're his prince.
Well, the last part remains true, but I don't remember the arm part.
I don't either.
Have you guys scrubbed your Facebook yet?
No.
I
don't even know what that means.
Like every time someone gets drafted, they always comb their
Greg,
it's more Twitter that gets you in trouble.
I know. I keyword searched my Facebook though.
How bad was it?
Yeah, there's a bunch of weed stuff, but nothing really problematic. Yeah.
At this point,
dude, I would just openly be like, "Yo, let's smoke a blunt this weekend, John." It's a public forum. What was I doing?
Yeah,
I did that no less than like 15 times.
Yeah, I'm wondering what searches you put out there. Because clearly blunt was one of them.
Yeah.
What else?
Like weed,
smoke,
bitch. Yeah, like anything, like any bad word I could think of.
You jibba?
No, but that's probably
probably should.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Well, what the hell's next week?
Wednesday.
Next week?
I mean, there will be those days next week. Correct.
Friday.
Well, that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
That's not.
What are you guys doing this weekend?
The same thing I do every weekend,
which is masturbate furiously
over the world. Yes.
Ooh, that was a deep cut.
I know. I like that.
Smoke a blunt, dude, with Josh. We're getting the puppy this weekend.
Oh, boy.
I found one where I was messaging John on Facebook and I posted something. I was like, "Yo, you ever gonna come back and clean up that pizza you threw in my wall and fix my smoke detector?"
Which is a valid question.
Yeah, and he goes, "That wasn't me." It's clearly him.
Definitely.
All right, next week is back to Gillette again. Back home games. So I'm welcoming in the 4-9 Jacksonville Jaguars.
Skip.
game.
Can we skip this one?
I do not remember.
I don't remember this at all either.
You can skip it. That's kind
All right.
of what I was expecting.
What's the next good one?
Super Bowl, Greg.
Dude, I can't wait for these playoffs
Yeah, the next good one's probably the last game of the season.
because the Patriots have just won the AFC East
They did.
as
And-
we speak it into existence right now.
Yep. And they are first in the AFC because Kansas City lost. So both teams are now 11-2. And the Patriots have a better
Number one seed.
conference record or something like that. Because one of their losses was to the NFC.
To the Redskins.
To the Redskins of all teams.
So now we're just talking positioning these last couple games here,
Yep.
right?
You win out and you're in first. You have home field advantage all the way through. But they've clinched the division already.
With 6 games to go. Is that right?
That's
No.
14,
Oh, no,
so
okay.
3 games. to
Three
go.
games and then 3 playoff. Okay.
So
All right. I'll see you guys in the playoffs.
Maybe the Super Bowl.
maybe Super Bowl.
No, are you kidding me? I'm not. The Super Bowl's not even the one I'm most excited for.
Oh boy, I have an idea, but I'll keep it to
Yeah,
myself.
this is like my favorite fucking single game performance by any player ever.
Oh boy, is this your Eugene thing? Is that what
No.
He's actually integral in it too, but no.
Okay.
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Yes. You
All right.
know.
All right. Well, until then, if you have any feedback for us, if you want to hear more of Greg's trivia or drug stories, or you want Steven to actually put the puppy on the episode next week, you can
Ooh,
text
that'll be
us.
exciting.
Text
Also,
the Dynasty Hotline.
I wanted to shout out Mom because that's where I get my hatred of all technology from. That's all I was thinking while I was like fucking cussing out this printer. I was like, this is Mom.
Very good.
Well, I mean, when I used to do like IT support, every time I go for an interview, they'd be like, "Oh, so why are you good at this?" I'm like, "Well, let me tell you about my mother. I'll tell you this story." One day I came home from college and I walked in and she was yelling at the printer, not at me about the printer, but at the printer. Eventually it turned to me.
Yes.
So she was yelling at the printer. So I walked over and said, "Hey, Mom, what's going on? What's up with the printer?" And she turns, looks at me, and says, "Goddamn fucking printer won't print." I'm like, "Okay, what's going on?" She's like, "I don't fucking know, won't fucking print." So I walk over, look at the printer, and I hit the on button, and it turns on and starts to print. And so to thank me, she turns to me and says, "Why the fuck does a printer have an on button?" And storms away.
Dude, my favorite was
This was me, like I walked to the door coming home from college, and that was my welcome home.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah.
my favorite was like I heard her like cussing in the other room. And I walk over and she's like, it was when iTunes first came out, and she's like, I can't get this fucking song to play. I walk over, I'm like, all right. I mean, I've done iTunes before, and I like just double click a song and it starts playing. She goes, "What'd you do?" I was like, "I double clicked it." She's like, "You gotta click it twice." I was like, "Mom, after like you clicked once, what was your next troubleshooting thing to do?"
Yell at it.
Yeah.
So I tell that story, and I never didn't get the job because of it. So because of Mom's anger towards technology.
Yeah. And now she's good at it.
But she
She's
fucking killing it,
quarantine. She's
She's a
made her
Zoom
peace
queen,
with
isn't
it.
that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She does
Instead of
Zoom
getting
better than we do.
frustrated, she tries to like actually figure it out, which
She does.
I need to learn that like I just get so mad at like the people that design it, where I'm like, why are you trying to like make me go through this labyrinth of like bullshit just to get your thing to work?
Yes.
Maybe
Yes,
you just
we
need
are.
it, Greg.
Yeah. And instead of getting mad, I should just be like, okay, let's just solve this problem, Gregory. It'll be easier for you and less stressful if you just,
I'm gonna mail you my percussive maintenance tool,
what's that?
a baseball bat. Works every time.
I did.
Sometimes all you gotta do is threaten it. Be like, "You see this
Yeah.
right here?" And then it starts printing. Problem solved.
I have a tendency to like rough it up a little. I just like fucking
Sometimes that's all it
punch
needs.
the buttons and be like,
Oh, yeah.
"Fuck, yeah, you like that, you piece of shit."
You dirty girl. So if you have any printer stories or you need any tech support, you can text us, Dynasty Hotline. What's the number?
Oh, let me get it.
All right.
603.
Yeah.
You ain't got this part. This is the hard part, dude.
Yeah.
Save our season.
Oh, SOS.
Yeah.
505.
Yeah.
That's why 505 seems such a weird beginning. And then it's Troy Brown for 3. 8013. 43.
Yes.
We got there.
You want to do that the whole thing all at
We got
once?
there. By the way, update on my Sporkle endeavors.
Oh boy.
I recently completed all the capital cities of Africa.
Okay.
Go ahead, ask me one.
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe is Harare.
Okay.
But the thing is, Algiers. I've never actually heard them pronounced, so all the pronunciations are just in my head, which is kind of fun. Like Ugadagu, Nouakchott, which I have no idea if that's correct, but I know how to spell it. That's
Guatemala.
Guatemala is actually not in Africa,
That's true.
but it's Guatemala City.
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia is Addis Ababa.
What about Djibouti?
Djibouti is Djibouti. Djibouti. Shaking Djibouti. Shaking Djibouti.
That should be a song. Djibouti.
Imagine like United States of America, United States of America.
Yeah. I think all capital cities should just be the
name of the country.
yeah.
It should be.
Make this whole thing a lot easier.
This cruise would be so much easier.
Ouagadougou's my favorite.
Ouagadougou has a great name.
Which country is that?
Yeah.
That is Burkina Faso.
Okay.
Or Chad.
Burkina Faso.
No.
I'm not sure.
Pronunciations are not my
Well, yeah,
thing.
we're really good at this.
Burkina Faso. Give me a Burkina
In
Faso.
Jamaica.
So if you know how to pronounce any of these,
Yeah.
you can text us 603-505-8043.
They leave us a voicemail with the correct pronunciations of African.
No,
capital.
text us the correct pronunciation.
Yeah.
All right. And until next week, we will see you later.
See you later.
See you later.